Good evening everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're looking today at Nio Stock, which you can see is up by 1.68%. The past 5 days now, we are still down by 12.5%, but realistically things looking a bit better here today. Now of course Friday, when we last filmed, was a crazy day. We did see a big red day on the markets, but today we're coming back just a little bit. We're up by 0.3% on the S&P 500. The Dow Jones is still red by 0.16, Nasdaq up by 0.86, and we're seeing the Russell 2000 up by 0.77. So a mixed day here when we look at the broad markets, but today we're going to be looking specifically at Nio. Again, if you do enjoy the video, please make sure to let me know, and the easiest way to do so is to leave a like and subscribe. Now jumping straight in, we do have a lot to focus on here, specifically looking at both the share price and of course where the company is. Now to establish the basis of this, we are seeing that Nio shares are stabilizing slightly on Monday, closing around 545 as the stock began carving out a support following last week's risk-off macro correction. We can see here that there are many factors potentially which could drive the stock higher in the more mid to long term. There have been upwards Q2 revisions where we can see research analysts at Zacks Investment Research officially raised their Q2 financial projections for the EV maker. There's been narrowing net losses, there's been margin inflection horizon, and we've also seen institutional capital quietly accumulating. If we have a look here, there's been a sizable stake in additions, with institutional fund managers beginning to reallocate capital back into the asset, drawn by its recent operational turnaround. We can see here that there have been massive inflows with regulatory filings suggesting that we are seeing substantial institutional buy-in led by Aspects Management expanding its position by 266.7 million. There's been a firm hold rank. We can see the company carrying out a consensus. Zacks rank 3, which is a hold. We can see directly benefiting from the positive momentum of its 30-day earnings estimate. Then we of course have the June delivery figures where they are chasing its 50k peak following its blowout May deliveries of the 37,705 vehicles. Nio's cumulative Q2 could hit in the 60,000, right, potentially. Or I should say its cumulative figure, right? This is going to be very interesting, and it's going to be obviously a stock which we are going to be watching heavily still. Now, especially in the last few days, right, markets broadly have been the big driver. We have seen the markets take a big downturn, and yes, it's good that we have actually closed a little bit green today on the S&P, but I wouldn't call it a massive win of a day, to be honest. And I think the broad market sentiment into the next few weeks is going to continue to be a factor, especially as we unfortunately do see things potentially heating up again in the Middle East, with the conflicts that we are seeing over there. So it's going to be a very big week to watch. I do think if we can find some stability here this week, that would be a good sign. Now, looking here at what we're seeing on the 1 month, you're coming up to a point where the RSI is returning, coming a little bit closer to neutral now. We were in the oversold territory back on Friday. If you have a look here on the 3 month, you're seeing it still very low, and the 6 month actually shows it coming down just below the neutral marker. So technically, over a longer term period, we could be in a stage to watch as we're not necessarily overbought or oversold. I'm looking for initial supports here between 535 and 530. If you can find those, great. If not, I'm looking at 520. I'm looking down to 515. 510 is below that. So ideally, we can hold some of these levels. If you can, I'm looking for a push above to the 555 mark. Get above that level, I'm looking up to 560, 565 for a potential push onto 580 and 585. The real goal here, of course, in the more midterm is, of course, the $6 mark. Now, are we there yet? No, we're certainly not at a level where I would be thinking about pushing up to this in the very short term. I think this is going to be more of a multi-week focal point. It's not exactly something that I'm expecting here in the very short term, but I do think it is now a stronger possibility. I am seeing that potential with Nio, but I do think, as I say, this is going to be driven a lot more broadly based on what happens in the markets as a whole. That's where my focus is for the moment, guys. Thank you for your time, and goodbye for now. Hey everybody, sorry to interrupt the video, it's me from the future speaking here, but I've got to bring your attention to something which is going on with the channel. From now, we have the join feature. You can become a channel member. If you do, you can expect to receive exclusive videos, short form content, and some of the insights and information to plays that I'm not able to produce here on the channel. It simply takes too much time, and the YouTube algorithm makes it not worth it. If you want to see some of the plays that I'm watching, some of the plays that you might be interested in, if you have any recommendations, you're going to be seeing many videos being produced in the members section on YouTube. You can find this by pressing join and coming over here, or you can click on the link in the channel bio and you'll find the membership option there. I hope to see you on the member side. Thank you so much. Back to the video.